So guys, students, today we will study about last topic of projectile motion. In projectile motion topic, not in a motion in a plane. In projectile motion, I am going to teach you what is that third type of projectile motion which I mentioned before. Projectile motion in an inclined plane. In an inclined plane. What it is? We are going to study about projectile motion in an inclined plane. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? See here, first we should know what is inclined plane. Imagine this is the horizontal line. This plane is called inclined plane. So whatever, let's say angle alpha if I give, that is angle alpha, we call it as a angle of inclination. This line, whatever the plane we have here, this is inclined plane, this is horizontal line, and what is that? This angle we call angle of inclination. Now suppose think that let us take this point O. I am projecting a body. I am throwing a body with initial velocity u, making angle theta to this inclined plane. Making angle theta to this inclined plane. This angle theta is angle of projection. This is initial velocity. Correct? If I throw like this an object, range will be there, maximum height to this plane will be there. How to find it? How to find the range and maximum height and time of flight? Main thing is time of flight. What is that? Let us take this point as A, where the object is going to reach. This is usually this is horizontal plane, ground. Now I am throwing an object in an inclined plane. This is what the object is having. This is what the object projectile motion is having. Here, certain cases are going to happen. Let us discuss very carefully. Now there are many methods to solve this. In textbooks also you got certain methods, but I felt this is the best, easiest way method to make you understand. And formulas from the textbook and what I am deriving will be different, but you have to focus on the concept and logical approach how I am making. Conceptual approach you have to give concentration on that. Okay? See here. So for this what I will assume, I will not take this horizontal line as x-axis. Instead of that, I will take this line as x-axis and perpendicular to this line as y-axis. Are you understanding? Perpendicular to this line as y-axis. Then what I am going to do? Here observe. Now G is acting like this. Yes or no? G is acting downward. Now G also I will resolve into two components. This is the most important thing. Why? Because I have considered this as x-axis, this as y-axis. That is why I will resolve G into two components. Acceleration. Actually, G is acting downward. Correct? G is acting downward. I will resolve this G into two components. One component is parallel to this line. These two are parallel. Correct? Another component is parallel to y-axis. Of course, they are anti-parallel, but they will be along y. Either it is negative or positive. Along y and along x. Correct? Now here this is alpha angle, means this angle also will be alpha. This one already previously I explained in one of the problem on resolution of vector. Go and check that. Correct? If I take this is horizontal line, this line is perpendicular to this horizontal line. This is a vertical line to the ground. This is a vertical line to the ground, but since I am taking this as x and this as y, I am resolving this G into two components. One is G cos alpha acting here, and this is G sin alpha. Now you can analyze individually. If you look along x-axis, there is an acceleration now acting. What is that acceleration? G sin alpha. Are you understanding? There is an acceleration along y is acting. This is along y, no? What is that? G cos alpha. This is the trick I am going to use. Now see here, this is theta means this is uy, u sin theta, and this will be ux, where, okay, let me just write uy such that ux is equal to u cos theta, initial velocity, uy is equal to u sin theta. So u sin theta. So this is what the trick I am going to make. Are you understanding? First, let us find time of flight. Only this thing. See, in book in a different way they have given lot of derivation in competitive book also. So please refers to my derivation and write down, make a notes of this. So it looks very easier for you for the conceptual approach. Got it up? See, if I want to calculate three things, I will find time of flight, maximum range or range of the projectile, and I am going to find height. Here this will be maximum height, correct? No? And range, this will be the range. This will be range. This angle is alpha, don't forget. This angle of inclination is alpha. This is cos alpha, we have included. Time of flight. What is time of flight? Time taken by the body to reach from point O to A. Correct, no? From point O to A. How to find? I will look along x-axis or I will look along y-axis. Along x-axis, time taken by the particle to reach from point O to A like this. That is time of flight. Along y-axis, time taken by the particle to go up to this height and again come back. This is the total time. So total time taken along y-axis, if you take, the displacement is 0 because the object will go here, again it is going to come back. If you look only along y-axis, correct? No? Object will go here. Actually object is moving like this, but along y object will go here and come back. So for the complete total time of flight, along y-axis, displacement is going to be 0. I am going to use that trick here and I am going to use that property to solve the expression for time of flight. See here, along y-axis, if you see, along y-axis, what is that? Using s is equal to ut plus half x square. I will apply s is equal to ut. See here, along y, what is the velocity? What is the displacement? 0. What is the initial velocity? Uy. Uy is how much? U sin theta. So this will become U sin theta into Tf minus half into acceleration. See here, along y-axis, this is anti-parallel. This is y-axis, this will be g cos alpha. So this will become minus g cos alpha into Tf square. Take Tf common and multiply towards LHS. You will get Tf common you take, then multiply towards LHS. You will get here you will get u sin theta minus half g cos alpha Tf. Are you understanding? Half g into cos alpha Tf. Tf you take this side, this term you take this side. So Tf time of flight for this case is going to be what? 2u sin theta divided by g cos alpha. Previously what you got? You got 2u sin theta by g. Here some extra term cos alpha is coming. Are you understanding? Cos alpha is going to come. So this is the what is that? First time of flight. Hold on. Listen carefully on this. So what is that we got? Tf is equal to time of flight for this time taken to complete the projectile motion, 2u sin theta divided by g cos alpha. We will utilize it. Second one, we will find the range of the projectile. You have to not concentrate on formula here, you have to concentrate on the conceptual approach. Conceptual approach is very good. Range of the projectile. See here, this is the range. Focus along x-axis. If you concentrate along x-axis, now along x-axis there is an acceleration acting. That is how much? G sin alpha. there is an acceleration acting how much? G sin alpha. Try to remember. Previously there was no acceleration if I was for horizontal. Now the formula for displacement along x-axis is not just velocity into time. It becomes S is equal to ut plus half at square. Along x-axis, if you want to find displacement, previously what you did, since acceleration was not there, you were applying just velocity into time. Now acceleration is acting how much? G sin alpha is acting this side. So the displacement to find from point O to A, you need to apply the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square. That is what I am going to do. Along x-axis, if you observe, see here, along x-axis, using S is equal to ut plus half at square formula, S is what? Range. I am talking along, forget about y now. Only focus on x. Only focus on x side. You are just moving along x. So S is equal to ut plus half at square. It becomes R is equal to ut. U is ux. How much? Cos theta. So u cos theta. Time taken by the projectile motion to reach from this point to this point is how much? Tf. It is Tf. So Tf minus, why I am putting minus here? The motion is like this, the acceleration acting is like this. So when acceleration is acting like this, so it is opposite to the motion. Velocity decreases along x-axis when particle comes up. Correct now? Along x. So this becomes, that is why I am taking minus here. Minus half into G sin alpha into Tf square. Into Tf square. I am going to substitute this value. The expression is going to become big. Let's see what is going to happen. R is equal to u cos theta. Tf is how much? 2u sin theta by G cos alpha minus half into G into sin alpha. Tf square. This square if I do, you will get what? 4 into u square sin square theta divided by G square cos square alpha. G square cos square alpha. See here, okay. This will be the case. G square cos square alpha. Now, what is that? Certain things get cancelled here. 2 1s are 2 2s are. Got it? Then 1g is getting cancelled. So this expression I can write u cos theta into sin theta can be written as this one, you see 2 into u square. 2u square sin theta into cos theta whole divided by g into cos alpha minus what is getting here? Here 2u square sin square theta into sin alpha whole divided by g into cos square alpha. 1g is anyhow getting cancelled. This is the expression which we are going to get. Got it? Observe carefully. This is the expression which we are going to get. Here 2u square sin theta. Okay, I didn't write sin theta. Na? This has to be sin theta. Sin theta. One common is there. G cos alpha. I am taking common. So I am going to rub this range of the projectile I am finding. See here. What I am going to get? I will take 2u square sin theta by cos alpha common. So R will be equal to 2u square sin theta divided by g cos alpha. If I take common from these two terms, here only remaining is cos theta minus here what is remaining? Here sin theta, one sin theta I am taking common. Here remaining is sin theta into sin alpha divided by cos alpha. What is that? This is the remaining part. Cos square is there, g cos alpha I have taken common. Only remaining is 1 cos alpha. So this is going to be, this is going to be R is equal to 2u square sin theta divided by g cos alpha cos theta into cos alpha minus sin theta into sin alpha whole divided by cos alpha. Whole divided by cos alpha. So I'm going to rub this now. So R is equal to, this one also I'm going to rub. R is equal to cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Cos A cos B minus cos A cos B. Sorry, sin A sin B. Cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Cos of A plus B. How much it is? Cos of A plus B. So R is equal to 2u square sin theta divided by g cos square alpha into cos of theta plus alpha. Cos of theta plus alpha. This is going to be a range for the projectile motion. What is that? This is going to be what? A range for the projectile motion. In your textbook, if you find any computative expression, that expression will be totally different. Now only I am telling, because there in the textbooks they are considering this theta as complete to horizontal line. Try to observe. If you are referring any textbook regarding projectile inclined plane, you will find a different expressions. Now only I am telling, because they are going to refer different theta angles. You observe that, and this is the easiest way to explain. That is why I am explaining. I don't want you to remember this big formula. I want to remember, see, along x-axis what is happening, along y-axis what is happening, using s is equal to ut plus half at square, v is equal to u plus at, v square minus u square is equal to 2s. With these formulas, you can find whatever you want along x-axis and along y-axis. This is what I suggest you guys to learn. You can derive anything. I don't want to remember the formula. But the conceptual approach, how I have done this, you have to remember. So this is the range. Next we will find maximum height. Got it? We are going to find maximum height. See here. Third one. Maximum height I am measuring from inclined plane. I am measuring from inclined plane the maximum height which I showed in the diagram. Height of the projectile. Here one thing you observe. Time of ascent will not be equal to time of descent. Time of ascent will not be equal to time of descent because along x-axis there is acceleration acting. Along x-axis there is a acceleration acting. Got it now? We cannot say, I didn't say it is not equal, we cannot say, we can find out the relation, then only we can find the result, what is going to happen. Got it now? Because here also acceleration is acting, downward also is acting. If nobody was disturbing along x-axis, then we could have considered here both are acting means things looks little bit complicated. Distance covered for the highest position will not be equal to this distance covered. Are you understanding? This distance covered will not be equal. That is why I cannot say that time of ascent will be equal to time of descent. Maximum height for this inclined plane, if this is the height, this is the height which a particle is making, we are going to find that height. See, we will take along x-axis, along not x-axis, sorry, along y-axis. If I take along y-axis using v square minus u square is equal to 2as, final velocity along this direction for the maximum height is how much? Vy will be equal to 0, or this is 0 square minus along this direction it will be u square sin square theta will be equal to 2 into acceleration due to gravity. I am talking about the object moving up, correct? At this point, time taken by the object to move this up. What I am finding? I am finding height, correct? The height. So final velocity along y will be 0. Final velocity along y will be 0, correct? So along x it will be there. along x, along itself, final velocity along y is 0. So see here, g cos alpha is acting downward. So minus g cos alpha into h. H is the displacement along y-axis which it is covering. So this formula, h becomes what? H becomes, see here, u square minus minus gets cancelled. U square sin square theta divided by 2g cos alpha. This will be the formula. U square sin square theta divided by 2g cos alpha. This is very important to remember. Okay, see here, one question is there. One body is projected, or a ball, it is mentioning ball in the question. One ball is projected in an inclined plane with initial velocity u, with angle of projection for the inclined plane is theta, and this angle of inclination is alpha. And what is the condition is, if you project the body in such a manner, such that the object comes and hits 90 degree to this inclined plane. The object comes here and hits the inclined plane with what angle? 90 degree. So what is the question is, at what angle a ball be projected up to inclined plane, correct now? So that it may hit the inclined plane normally. So what he is asking is, what is the value of theta I must maintain such that if I throw the ball, it will come and hit the normal to this incline. So one basic assumption what we will do is, for this let us assume this is y and this is x, previous techniques. When I do that, inclined plane is x I am taking and this is y, correct now? If I do that, g will be acting now. G is vertically downward. When g is vertically downward, I will resolve this g into two components. One component is parallel to this, another component is along x-axis. So one component is along x-axis, one component is along y-axis. So this is along y is up, opposite to y. This component is along x, opposite to x, correct now? If this is alpha, this is alpha. 100% you will be having doubt. Once again I am telling how this is becoming alpha. Check in the resolution. Check in the resolution of vectors. I have shown that in the first problem. See here, as I was explaining about G, I told you that how this angle will become alpha. I have explained in resolution of vectors. Go through that once again in the video. So if I take this component will be G cos alpha. This component will be G sin alpha. Correct? So I can say the acceleration along x-axis is g sin alpha acting. Along y-axis the acceleration acting is g cos alpha. So this much we have studied. Now what is our target? We have to find for what angle of projection theta. This final point, at the final point, the particle will hit with 90 degree. When a particle is hitting with 90 degree, it means that its velocity, final velocity along x-axis is 0. This is the first condition. And he is given this condition now. From this only I will make one equation. What is that? At this point, along x-axis, what is the final velocity? 0. Correct now? Let us take along x-axis. Along x-axis, because that is the given hint. He is giving us a hint. So we have to do that. What is that? Along x-axis, what is that? Vx is equal to v cos theta. Vx is equal to v cos theta. Sorry, not Vx is equal to v cos theta. At this point, what is the final velocity at this point? If I consider that is the v, it is a 0. Because the object is falling 90 degree, so along x, Vx will be equal to 0. Vx is equal to 0 and here, that is one point. What is ux? Ux is this one, this is uy. So what is our target? We need to calculate theta. Here for this there is an acceleration acting in opposite direction. What is that? G sin alpha. G sin alpha is acting like this. So using v is equal to u plus at along x-axis, I can write 0 is equal to ux. What is the value of ux? Is u cos theta. What is the value of ax? Is minus g sin alpha. Minus g sin alpha. So this is going to be using this formula. I can write along x. Let me write like this, no problem. U is how much? Ux how much? U cos theta. Let me write better like this. Ux will be equal to Vx will equal to Ux U cos theta plus minus G sin alpha into T, where T is the time taken by the particle to reach from this point to this point. Correct? Time taken by the particle to reach from point O to, let's say, point A. That is the time. So I can write time taken is equal to u cos theta. Here, okay. U cos theta divided by G sin alpha. Correct? No? Let us keep this equation as well. What I want theta. That is why I am writing this. Got it? Along y-axis, you observe. See, why I am taking particularly this equation? What is that? V is equal to u plus at. Particularly, why I am taking that equation? Because here the given condition is Vx is 0. Vx is 0. Correct? No? Along y-axis. Along y-axis, in this time, in a time t, see, time t is the time taken by an object to reach from point O to A. So time taken, this is along x. Time taken by an object to go up and come down up to point A along y-axis is again t only. It is again time t only. Time taken by an object along y-axis going up and coming down. So what is the displacement along y-axis? It is again 0. It is again 0. Using Sy is equal to Uyt plus half Ayt square. Correct? No? Sy means displacement along y. Sy means displacement along y. I am using the variables Sy. Correct? No? So what will happen? So displacement is 0. Uy is how much? Uy into t. What is Uy? Uy is u sin theta. U sin theta into t minus half into g. Why I have taken in this equation? Because I am getting displacement 0. The common thing I am getting is the time. I am getting displacement 0. That is why I am taking S is equal to ut plus half at square. So minus half into what is Ay? Ay, G is acting downward along y-axis. What is G acting downward along y-axis? G cos alpha. This is G alpha. So minus half into G cos alpha into t square. Into t square. So here, u sin theta, you can write this one as 0 is equal to u sin theta minus half g cos alpha into t. What is that? I am going to write this question better. I am going to write here. See here. This part 0 is equal to u sin theta minus half g cos alpha into t. Why? Because if I take t common here and bring to a LHS this part, one t will become 0. So only remaining will be this thing. Correct, no? Only remaining will be this one. Whatever I am writing. 1 minute, guys. Okay. So see here, this equation t will become what is that? 2u sin theta divided by g cos alpha. Let us keep this equation as got it? Got it? Look at this equation. Look at this equation. Both are same. So from equation 1 and 2, I can write 2u sin theta divided by g sin alpha will be equal to what is that? Sorry. U cos theta divided by g sin alpha will be equal to 2u sin theta divided by g cos alpha. So u is getting cancelled. When u is getting cancelled, g are getting cancelled. So this is going to be what? I want theta, right? I want theta. I can write cot alpha. Cos alpha will take cos by sin is cot alpha. Cot alpha is equal to 2 into tan theta. Tan theta is equal to 1 by 2 into cot alpha. Got it? 1 by 2 into cot alpha. And what is theta? So theta is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 2 into cot alpha. This is the value of tan theta. Got it? This is the value of theta. See, wherever they give certain conditions like this, we have to make equation taking that condition. That is the trick of solving numericals in physics. Simply we will not give any condition. For any condition, purpose will be there. So rectify those purpose, make out equations. Making equations, if you learn, 90% of the solving part of numericals is finished. 10% is you have to understand the numerical very clearly. Let's move on to the next question. See here, now one question we have. There is an inclined plane. Now one body is projected with 5 meters per second such that it is making 30 degrees to the horizontal. Got it? 30 degrees to the horizontal. This line and this line are parallel. This line are parallel. Such that, what is that? This is the given condition. We have derived for the object which is going up. Now let us look at this, how we can solve. So find the range of the projectile on the plane when it strikes the plane. Let us make another diagram for this. Now this is the inclined plane. How you need to solve, you will understand. Got it done? How we need to solve, we will try to understand this. Got it done? See here. Now object is coming from upside. Let's say the body is projected with 5 meters per second. That is u. And imagine it will fall like this, somewhere here. We don't know. Let us take this point O, this point as it is falling here. Now, here if I draw one line, this is 30 degrees. I want angle of projection. See, these two are alternate angles. What is this angle? 30 degrees. Such that angle of projection, before that this angle is 30. So the total angle of this velocity making to this inclined plane is 60 degrees. Correct? Now is 60 degrees. That is one thing. Now I will assume the particle is projected from here. No? So I will take perpendicular line 1 to this inclined plane, one parallel line to this inclined plane. I will assume this is x-axis, this is y-axis. I am assuming this is x-axis and this is y-axis. So what happens here? See. So when I do that, what is the total angle of projection here? 60 degrees. This total angle is how much? 30 plus 30, it is 60 degrees. Yes or no? This is 30 This is 30. Total angle is 60. What is the initial velocity? Find it. So once I do that, see, for downward inclined plane I didn't derive the formula. So only I derived for range of the projectile for the upward plane while going up. We can solve by deriving itself or by substituting values. First here, what I want is the distance traveled by a particle, to reach from point O to A. I want this R, that is the distance traveled by the particle along X. I want this. Now observe X. Along X, if you see, along X axis, if you see, what are the equations I can make? One thing I forgot. G is acting right. Now, see here, G, this is 30 degree. Now G is acting downward like this. Now I will resolve this G. G is acting downward. Here I will show. This is 90. G is acting downward. I will resolve G into two components. One is along X axis. One is along Y axis. Correct now? Here, in this case, what is 30 degree means this will be 30 degree. In previous case, this angle was there because inclined plane is opposite now. It's a mirror image. Correct now? So this will become 30 degree. You can check this. How can you check this here? This is 30 means this is perpendicular line. Correct now? What is this angle? Not this angle. See here. How can you check? I will see. What is this angle? This is 30. If this is 30, what is this angle? What is this angle? 90 plus 30 is 120. 120, this is 60. If this is 60, again this is 90. Extend this side. What is this angle? This is 90. This is 60, I said. This is 90. 90 minus 60, this angle is 30. This angle is 30. Got it now? So that is how this angle will become 30 degree. Now I will resolve into components of G. One is parallel to X axis, one is parallel to Y axis. That is along X axis, along Y axis. This one now, this component G now. So this component will become G sin alpha. Here acceleration acting how much? G sin alpha. Correct now? Here what is the acceleration acting? This is G cos alpha. G cos alpha. So here what is the acceleration acting now? Here G sin alpha. In this direction, that is opposite to 1. G cos alpha. Are you understanding? These are the directions which are being applied. Let's move on. Correct now? 1 minute. I will just check is not proper. As you can see, along X axis, what is the acceleration here? Now object is moving like this along X axis. G sin alpha is positive direction. I am considering this as positive. It is increasing. Particle velocity is increasing as it is moving from up to down. Correct now? So along X axis, what is the formula? I want R1. I will use S is equal to ut plus half at square. Using S is equal to ut plus half at square formula. In this case, along X axis, R will be equal to initial velocity. What is initial velocity? If this is u, here, this is ux, this is uy. This is ux. What is ux? Ux is u cos 60. Uy is u sin 60. Got it now? U sin 60. Here cos alpha, sin alpha I have taken now. Rather than taking cos alpha, sin alpha, we will take 30 degree here. We will take 30 degree here. Here also, because this angle is 30 outside, so we will take 30 degree. So see here. Initial velocity along X axis is how much? U cos 60 into t plus half into g into sin alpha into t square. Alpha is how much? Sin alpha means this also will become 30 degree. This also will become 30 degree. G sin 30 degree. For easier purpose, G will take 10 here. We'll take G. What I must find? Find the range. R I must find. This distance I must find. R. Correct? Huh? I am going to rub and we'll continue from that diagram. See here. Carefully see here. I want to find R. I know U. I know G. I know every angle. But what I don't know is T. T I don't know. Let's find T. To find T, what is the concept I will use? I will use the concept of time taken by the particle to reach from point O to A is T. Point O to A is T. Along y-axis, if you observe, the particle will go up and come down. Displacement along y-axis is 0. So, along y-axis, I will apply. Along y-axis, what is that? Using S is equal to here. Along y-axis, if you see along y-axis, I am going to apply same formula. What is that? S is equal to ut plus half at. Using S is equal to ut plus half at square. Along y, what is the displacement to complete the complete path? Along y, object will go up and come down. Displacement is 0. What is the velocity? That is uy. Uy is how much? Uy is u sin 60. U sin 60 into t plus, not plus, here it is not plus, minus half into what is the acceleration? Y minus g is acting downward and decreasing the velocity along y axis. As object is moving along y axis, g cos 30 degrees is decreasing the velocity. It is decreasing the velocity. So here minus half into g cos 30. What is that? Cos 30. So this will become g cos 30 into t square. We don't know t. This one I can write u sin 60 minus half into g cos 30 degree into t common. If I take t common and I will bring here, it becomes 0. Correct now? It becomes 0. So this will be, t will be equal to how much? T will be equal to 2u sin 60 divided by g cos 30. This will be 2 into 5 into sin 60. Is 60 degree? Correct now? How much? Sin 60 is root 3 by 2 whole divided by cos 30. What is the value of cos 30? Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So g into, g is, let us take g10. Let us take g10 into root 3. What is that? 5 1 0, 5 2. So t is equal to 1 second. What I will get? T is equal to 1 second. Once I got t is equal to 1 second, substitute here. Substitute here. R we want. R is equal to u 5 into cos 60. What is cos 60? 1 by 2. Cos 60 is 1 by 2. Yes or no? Cos 60 is 1 by 2. So into t is 1 plus half into 10 into sin 30 1 by 2 into 1 square. Solve for this. This is 5 by 2 plus 10 by 4. Correct now? 5 by 2 plus 10 by 4. How much? How much it is? R is equal to 5 by 2 plus 2 into 2 is 4. 10 by 4. How much? 10 by 4. So how much it will be? How much it will be? So I found out t is equal to, once again I am applying there. R is equal to into 2 into 2. This will become 5 to the 10. This will become 10 by 4. 4 to the 4. 5 is. So total is how much? 5. So R is equal to 5 meter. This range is how much? 5. Got it done? So two problems I have taken from inclined plane. You can solve like this. So it is depending on x and y where you guys are taking. Correct now? X axis, Y axis, where you are taking, it matters a lot. So you solve. That is what starting only I told you. Projectile motion means it's about X, it's about Y. Sometimes IJK are given means involve vector chapter, vector topics in this topic. Correct now? Vectors, resolution of vectors are very important. That is what I said. If you understood when I am going to take along X axis component, Y axis component, whole physics is going to become easy in coming days for the first year. That is why I asked you to practice this. See, every content I have said almost all in projectile motion. Please rewind the videos and listen once again. You might get understood. Got it? Thank you guys.